Yeah, it's a tricky fixture against TTM. I don't think it's the same team that we faced at the beginning of the season. They've been on a good run as well. I think they have now won three in a row. So it's going to be a tough fixture. The players look refreshed, re-energized with the new management that came in. They're looking to play, and you can see it's quality players that is there. Players who can turn the game around. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game with us as well. With suspension of Junaid side, with Letlabika not 100% back yet. Keegan Ritchie also out for medical reasons. So we returned at the back. Even Thabo Maslaba also picked up a hamstring strain in the City game. It's going to be a tough match for us. Definitely, there will be changes to our lineup, of course, but that's not because we are taking this cup game lightly or it's a secondary objective. No, we want to do very well in each and every game, whether it's cup or league game. But we'll put out the best 11 that's available to us.
Thank you so much, Fatu. Good day, Coach. Vuyo from Power 987. Coach, maybe you can also reference like the match you were mentioning now with the Fatu mentioned now with the league, how you got over the team. But just how much of a struggle is it, a sort of trying to prepare for what seems like an unpredictable team when it comes to TTM? I mean, you sort of mentioned now that they are part of the last three games, and it wasn't sort of the easiest of teams they were facing. But prior to that, they had the tag of being a struggling team in the league. So when it comes to a sort of unpredictable team like this, how hard does it become when you are trying to sort of prepare for it?
Look, yeah. Once you prepare or play an unpredictable team, you have to look at the form. You need to look at what has changed. You need to look at the key players at the moment in the past three games as well. So yeah, it becomes very unpredictable, and the only way you can prepare for such games, of course, is prepare as best as you can. Lock positions at this moment doesn't play the game. So TTM at this moment is one of the form teams that we are facing. So you have to put them in a bracket like Sundowns, Pirates, Supersport. You have to put them in that bracket purely because of the form they are in at the moment, and you can't take them lightly. So as much as we are trying to prepare our players, available players physically, we are also trying to prepare them mentally for this game, because it will become a mental game. Looking at where they are in the league and looking where we are, a bit of complacency might set in. And also, of course, it's a cup game. So with cup games, form does go out of the window. It's a must-win game. So you can't really leave any stone unturned.
Good afternoon, Coach. I just wanted to put a bit of an emphasis on a certain player, that is Bafana Tlhagosana Mthethwa. First and foremost, 2 weeks ago in your game up against Amazulu, he got a yellow card with a challenge that looked over the top on Makaula. Over the weekend, he got yet another yellow card up against Cape Town City, I think, on Tanzania. Have you spoken to him if there's anything wrong with him away from the field? It's just business as usual, because it looks concerning, 2 consecutive tackles that look a bit dangerous. So it's just, one of those 2 games that he just had to pick up yellow cards. Thank you.
Yeah, look, Bafana is one of the nicest guy you could meet off the field. I'm positive that it wasn't intentional, the tackles that you are talking about, but you're talking about Kola Molambo of Amazulu, and then you look 1 or 2 weeks before that, Kola Molambo also went over the ball and should have been sent off. So yeah, these things happen in football. Yes, Bafana is one of our enforcers, trying to break down opposition build-ups, etc. But 1 or 2 times you will get it wrong, and it's not intentional to hurt anybody or that. You understand? So these things happen in the game. Even the referees gets it wrong at times. So yeah, he didn't do it intentionally, but with highlighting these things to players, you're basically putting restrictions on them. You understand? I will encourage more to get stuck in, but not to go over the top and hurt anybody. You understand? So no, I have not spoken to him about it. I don't think I will speak to him about it. Will just warn him about maybe not getting booked or anything like that. But yeah, he's a key player for us. So yeah, the bookings is racking up at the moment. He's a concern for us in terms of suspensions and etc. The we're going into the league. We need everybody available. So yeah, that's the only concern I have at the moment. He's not a player that will go out and hurt anybody intentionally. So yeah, I think it was one moment where it was a missed time tackle, and the other one as well. So yeah, I think he's doing well, and I wouldn't restrict him and in doing what he's doing. That's his game. That's his characteristics in his play. So I won't put any restrictions on him.
Just it's now 17 by my count. I could have got it wrong. My math could be wrong. 17 matches, unbeaten league and cup. This season promoted to the top flight. It's just sure. What an unbelievable run. You could never have imagined it. I don't think, even being optimistic. I think does it, and obviously just seeing the 5 draws in the last 6 matches, does it become a bit tougher as that run goes on? Does the pressure, it's obviously all been a lot of fun for the guys. Does it become a bit more serious? And the guys start thinking, geez, this is how long can this carry on? Or is it still just a lot of fun and a lot of enjoyment? Thanks, Coach.
Look, yeah, there was always the pressure from the beginning was, of course, I'm staying in the league, and that's the objective that was set out from the owners, from the chairman, the president. Secondary objective was, of course, try and finish in the top 8. But the unbeaten run already comes from the Glad Africa days, and that's a count of 29 games now unbeaten. The 5 draws that you are talking about, yes. We are looking at that. Of course, it's something we are working on. Scoring and finishing have been maybe one of our setbacks. Yeah, we've conceded also the odd goal, but we are one of the defensively sound teams in the league. Scoring and finishing has become a bit of a stickler for us, but we are working on it. At this moment, yes, the mindset have to change. Maybe talking about this unbeaten run and the players, we have spoken about it, and we said maybe the thinking around that is about not getting defeated, not losing a game, and that shouldn't be our first point of reference. Our first point of reference should be winning games, and that's what we set up for each and every game. Even the City game, we scored first. Even with 10 men down, we created chances to take the game, to take all 3 points. But yeah, finishing let us down again. So we are not a team that's going out to lose. Not to lose. We are a team that's actually going out to win. And it's opponents who set up their tactics to try and stop us in that regard. And this is where the draws come in. And even if you put the draws into perspective, the 5 games that we are talking about, it's away to Cape Town City. It's away to Pirates. It's away to SuperSport. It's away to Sundowns. So people are putting. I just think it's a bit of a unfair comparison that we are making at this moment, because it's top contenders in the league. It's people that is season in, season out. Teams that is season in, season out competing for the league title, and currently we are amongst them, and it's all away games. So yeah. Yes, the Amazulu draw at home. They were a formed team as well. Everybody said they will beat us. Yes, the Chippa draw at home. The equalizer came very late in the game. So yeah, it's things we are working on. It's still a team in that's in a building phase. We're still new to this league. Even myself as well. We are all learning and improving day by day, game by game.
I just want to clarify, if you don't mind, you mentioned it earlier. Obviously, you've got Sight out suspended. Letlabika, Keegan Ritchie, you said were definitely out. Matlaba, you said as a hamstring. Is he definitely out? And is there anybody else that might be missing this weekend?
Look, for us, the only game that matters is the next game, and the next game is a Nedbank Cup game. Yes, these players are all at this moment out. My medical team is working around the clock to get them ready. Other people we have to look at, we have to look at guys like Vuyo, guys like Cheese Boy, even guys like Hamildin as well, who's been racking up minutes, 90 minutes, week in, week out. And unfortunately, yes, this is a cup game, but we have to look at our next game, which is 3 days off, 3 days after the Nedbank Cup game. And with playing the players that is a bit older than the rest of the squad, you have to manage them, and you have to weigh up your options with if you're gonna play them in the Nedbank Cup, and then you're gonna run the risk of not having them available for the next game. And that's why I'm saying at this moment, yes, there is some players that's a doubt for the game, but we're also looking towards the next game, how we can save players to be ready for the league game, which is against Galaxy. So we'll put out the best 11 that's available to us, being mindful about what's coming next. So yeah, just thinking about what's ahead. But for us, the next game is the Nedbank Cup, and whoever's available will definitely be on the park.
Your goalkeeping policy. Obviously, Virgil started the season, did very well, but Teller's been playing the last few games. Is it a rotation selection? What is your policy with the goalkeepers? Because obviously you haven't lost, so it's not a reason to change.
Yeah, the old cliche of if it's not broken, don't fix it, comes into the mind there. But look, Taylor's a very good goalkeeper. There's no doubt or dispute about that. His track record speaks for himself. We also have Virgil, who has been doing well. So saying that, it was a bit of rotation. Virgil had some issues to deal with in Namibia, had to go back as well, and subsequently lost his place in the first round of the Nedbank Cup. And then we decided also to go with Taylor as well. We could also feel Virgil's presence not being on the field during the City game. So there might be another change in that department this week as well. Both of them excellent top goalkeepers. So for us to make a decision, we have to. There's always a debate. Me and my technical team, we end up debating this issue for long periods of time. But the goalkeeper coach is doing a very, very good job with both of them. Even the young keepers, Anile Sabalala, top class as well. Even he can come in. He has played against TTM in the first round. So anything with our goalkeeping department, we will put in between the poles. He deserves it. Dela has been training well, so he deserved it. But Fries is back 100%. Dela's doing well, and even the young boy is putting his hand up for this game. So competition for places is tough.
Coach, I think when one looks back, I think it's nearly a year now since you've last lost a game. I think 24 games now without defeat, including those games in the NFD. Amongst the games that you've played now, I mean, you've come up against some of the top coaches in the country. I mean, you've played Sundowns, you've played Pirate, and you remain unbeaten. When you look at it at a personal level, understanding that you've obviously mentioned that you've got objectives, I mean, for your team. But when you look at the level of competitiveness in terms of the coaches you come up against, and just being in the PSL, having spent, so many years in the NFD, what are your thoughts on that?
First and foremost, before I go into the question, you need to understand my beliefs and everything. For me doing so well, it's purely by the grace and the mercy of God. I am a believer. The faith I have in God and the path He's put me on, I can't take any credit, and I give all the glory and all the honor and all the credit to Him. But putting this into perspective, from a personal point of view, it's nice. I think in the Glad Africa I started thinking like this, and with the Glad Africa, when we won it, when I came on board to Swallows, we people do a lot of analysis of teams, how they play and the players as well. Me, I think about how the coaches think, and you can read into situations. There's some coaches who does not change, and with me being in the Glad Africa and spend so much time in there as well and work, and coming facing these coaches week in and week out, you can see their patterns, you can see their thinking, you can expect and see what they are going to do next in the Glad Africa. So this season, like I said earlier, I'm also learning and seeing new things and new trends, and also the test with the different coaches week in week out, and how their thinking is it's of a high standard, because any coach in this league have to be tactically shrewd and tactically acute to understand. We have to react to situations by halftime. We need to react to certain situations from a technical point of view, maybe 2-3 times in the game. If we play Middendorp, we use 4 systems in one match. If you play against Sundowns, with these 3 coaches who think differently and all the time tinkering with the system and the lineup and even the playing philosophy. So from that point of view, I am growing. Like I said, with the players as well, and with the technical team as well, it's day by day, it's game by game, which we are growing and improving, and that's my only aim at the moment. Yes, the objective I've set for myself, that's between me and God, but at the moment is safe, and of course top 8 at the moment. But right now the team is looking safe, has reached the 30-point mark. From this moment onwards, I'm hoping it's rock and roll and keep on going forward. So yeah, we entering the last straight, the final 100 meters of this marathon or race. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and also there's some new things also that we want to imply in the team differently, because people seeing our structure, people is acting accordingly. You can see it in maybe in the amount of throws, if you want to put it that way. They are looking, tactically it's becoming very difficult, but it's nice, and it makes you think out of the box as well. You can't just rely on this is what I am, this is what we do, and just run with it. No, you have to react to certain situations in the game as well. But it's nice, it's exciting. It doesn't make you rest on your laurels. It doesn't make you get into a comfort zone. So day by day, game by game, it's all about improvement, whether it's a technical team or the players.
She sent it via text, Coach. So it says, now that you have played half of the season, both in the Cup and the League, do you think that it's going to get tougher now that the teams know about how you play?
No, definitely. This straight of the season, I've seen it happen in the PSL many times over the last couple of seasons. It's tougher. The teams at the bottom is fighting for everything. Hence TTM is also on that roll now, 3 games in a row. The teams at the top is fighting for honors. The teams at the bottom is fighting to save their lives. The teams in the middle is fighting for top 8. It's gonna get tougher. For us, we have to grow, we have to improve. Like I said earlier as well. I don't expect it to get any easier. We are facing a team that is, I'm speaking under correction, 15 under lock in a cup game. It's not going to be easy, and lock position don't play football. Sorry for that, but I expect it to be very tough. It's going to be this running is going to be unlike any other, with the COVID restrictions and everything as well. No fans in the stadium as well. There's stuff already. So tactically as well, second round, they know what we can do. Then they've seen us play. They've analyzed us. They know our key players as well. So it's going to be tremendously tough. And like I said earlier, we can't get into a comfort zone and just think everything's okay. So we have to up the standard from our side, from a technical point of view, and also from the playing personnel as well.
Thank you once again, Fatu. Coach, I'm just wondering about looking at your club and your players. There seems to be no ego within the players, within the squad. I just wanted to find out, how did you build that understanding amongst the players? Because obviously when they score goals, some of them do come to you, they kiss you, they hug you, they embrace you, and that's the family affair that you've built at the club. How did you build that? I know you said you guys pray together, but besides that, is it that you spend a lot of time together at camps? Is it maybe there's a couple of activities that you guys do as a club? How did you build that family-like affair at Morocco Swallows? Thank you.
That's a tough question to ask. That's a tough question to answer at this moment. Yes, people is seeing, reading into the situation and what we're doing at Swallows, and thinking that it's easy. It's not. The egos, the pride, the bigger players, the players who've been there and done that, the young boys who think they've arrived. That's from on the pitch, off the pitch as well. You have people who've been there before, who've done this as well. From a coaching point of view, from a head coach point of view, you have to bring this thinking together. Off the field, it's tough. There's still some older trends that is still evident in within the football fraternity, I would say. And people is not always open to change. I think that's that I've experienced all over football as well. Being one of the newer modern coaches, for lack of a better phrase now, in the league, in South African football as well, my emphasis or my goal would be to bring something new to the league, would bring something new, would wanting to bring something new to South African football as well. But getting that mindset and that atmosphere, you have to create it. You need everybody to buy in. Yes, not just the players, but from the management point of view. And once there's no understanding and you don't get it right, it's either you're going to have fights with your management or you're going to have fights with your players, and that's what you don't want. And that's what is sometimes draining the coach, having to work and cut himself in half to satisfy, yes, management with supporters, and also having to keep the players group and also your technical team happy as well. Sometimes you find you have trouble in one camp, but you don't want the other camp to know about it. So you have to seal sometimes. You have to really manipulate situations to keep the players happy, because ultimately this is a football club and football will be played, and that's our bread and butter. And you have to put the team first at times. But from a coaching point of view, from the head coach point of view, you want to do always what is best for the club. And sometimes there have to be casualties when you make decisions, and people don't understand that because of the egos and the pride. It's a very, very difficult situation. I think the pre-meetings and the Bible study groups has carried us thus far, and I hope that God will have mercy and favor upon us as we continue on this journey. But it's getting tough, and I'm feeling it at this moment, because the pressure that's been created via media, via supporters, via social platforms about us being contenders now and this unbeaten run that we are on as well. It can't be me alone. There's so many guys that I rely on, players, senior players, technical team, the social media team that I ask for, listen, guys, not this today, not that tomorrow. Yes, we can do this and that. So the team manager as well, there's so many guys that I rely on. It's just not about me, but creating this environment. It can't be me alone. I'm just blessed to have people here of faith with me as well, and we pray every day for this team, and that the Holy Spirit and God stays with us and keep us on this path. Complacency, offers that you hear about players that will be going. It's new to me. I have to be honest about it, and I'm still finding my feet and still growing with every decision and every accent and every word I speak also I have to be mindful about it, because there's so much at stake. And what's worse is in this fraternity, things can change just like that. Yes, there's 5 draws. I've seen people get fired for drawing 11 in the game. 11 in a row. I remember Bobby Solomons at Cape Town All Stars got fired for he haven't lost the game yet, but it was 11 draws. So I'm mindful about these things. Yes, people say this today, tomorrow, or in the shower tonight, it changes their mind. So as good as it is at this moment, it's only this moment and this next game that matters for me.